Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price today as we are breaking out to new all-time highs after seeing a retest of this major support level exactly like we talked about yesterday. And we do have a breakout target based on the schematics of the symmetrical triangle that would take Bitcoin all the way to the top of this channel to retest this resistance around the $75,000 level. And you can see Bitcoin has tested this level twice in the past, but more importantly, in reaction to this, we are seeing the DXY break down from a major support level. And I want to talk about what implications this has on not just cryptocurrencies, but also traditional markets. And then we'll look at Ethereum because you can see we are heading towards our target of the $2,400 level, already reaching $2,300. We have a lot to cover today. You guys are watching the Snipers channel. My name is Naeem Al-Obeidi. If you appreciate this content, remember to smash the like button. I want to talk about what's happening to Bitcoin first and foremost and the key levels to watch because, of course, yes, we have this target of $75,000, but we want to be the umpire and address both sides of the equation and the key levels to watch. And first and foremost, you can notice with the volume, we have some very nice volume coming in. You can see we actually have some ascending volume here, more buyers coming in. That is a very positive thing to see. We want to see continued buy volume come in for Bitcoin to assume this $75,000 target is going to be reached. And of course, right now we have the $61,844 level, which is the previous all-time high as a major support level that we've broken out from. And so at this point, when I look at this chart, it is a very simple tape to read. If Bitcoin is able to maintain price action above 61,800, then there is the possibility that we see continued upside, potentially coming towards our target of that $75,000 level, which you can see on a percentage basis would only really be about 20% upside, which is very plausible for Bitcoin, especially when we look at what's happening to the DXY. We'll talk about that in just a second. And so as long as Bitcoin is able to stay above 61,800, that means that it is going to continue price discovery to the upside. And of course, if we see even further volume come in that exceeds the type of volume that we're seeing already, that could be a very positive sign. And realize this, for the downside, this is a very easy play. The weekly open is now below this major channel support. And so if Bitcoin comes towards this weekly open, which is at 60,000 US dollars, it's also a big even. That to me is the major support that has to hold if we want to assume further upside for Bitcoin. So this makes it extremely easy to play this. If we start coming to the downside, we know now that $60,000 level is a very critical area for Bitcoin. And of course, if that $60,000 level breaks, there is that potential we could see some downside. But so far, we have to read the tape for what it is. And when we look at the daily chart, if it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, if it runs like a duck, then 8 out of 10 times it's a duck. And you can see because we are seeing strength above the 50-day moving average and we're seeing continued upside, new all-time highs, and we're in price discovery, the chance of Bitcoin coming towards 75,000 is extremely high. So we want to monitor that $61,844 level, which is the previous all-time high, if we want to assume that Bitcoin is going to continue price discovery. And if we start to see any weakness, I want to be the umpire for you, then 60,000 is the major level. Now that it's below this channel support, it gives us a very easy reading if we come below that level. So let's monitor that. And then when we look at Ethereum, check this out. With Ethereum's chart, very interesting price action here. You can see we're seeing more strength than Bitcoin as we expected. We'll look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, and we do have this first target of that $2,300 to $2,400 level. But based on the schematics of Ethereum's breakout with the symmetrical triangle, we actually have a target that would take us towards the $2,700 level. And so realize this, with Ethereum, it's a little bit of a different play here. If Ethereum breaches 2,400 US dollars, there is a straight shot to potentially take us to that $2,700 level. And this is also around a 20% increase in price from where the current price is at. And so let's monitor Ethereum's price action, but we are above the weekly open. And for the downside, it's a little bit different for Ethereum because the weekly open is above the major channel support, but you can see we do have confluence with the previous weekly open and that channel support. So for me, when it comes to Ethereum, the 2075 area is the major level. If it comes to the downside, we want to hold 2075 to assume that we could still see continued upside. But if that 2075 level breaks, we have this channel support. We want to monitor the price because at that point, that could lead us towards this monthly open. And of course, 2000 is also a big even. So we want to stay above 2075. But even if we're above 2150, that would be more positive for the bulls, of course. So staying above the weekly open at 2150 is an even better case for Ethereum for the bullish upside target to be fulfilled, which right now is around that $2,700 level based on the schematics of the symmetrical triangle that it's breaking out from. And then with the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, you can see we have this breakout and this garden variety bull flag with a low, a higher low, another higher low, and to me that's extremely positive. Of course, we know EIP 1559 allowed Ethereum to bottom out here, and now that we have this bullish flaggish formation maintaining price action above 35,000 satoshis, as we've mentioned, is a major level. You can see we've never closed any 6-hour body candles below that level, only wicking there, and then of course forming higher lows. In my opinion, because Ethereum to the Bitcoin chart is above the weekly open, above the previous weekly open, we do have this first upside target of 37,000 satoshis, and then we have this channel resistance around 38,000 satoshis. And realize this: if Ethereum comes towards 38,000 satoshis and breaks 38,000 satoshis, there could be a parabolic run up, because that is a major channel resistance that you can see Ethereum has respected many times in the past as a resistance, as a support level. You can see even as a resistance here. And so we want to monitor Ethereum's price action here. And of course, like I've mentioned earlier, the 2075 level is the major level when it comes to the downside, because that is exactly where the previous weekly open sits when we look at the Ethereum to US dollar chart. And then for the total cryptocurrency market cap, you can see we're seeing continued new all-time highs. And as a matter of fact, you can see we broke this major resistance here, and we are above the weekly, monthly, and previous weekly open. As long as the total cryptocurrency market cap stays above the weekly open right at that $2 trillion level, then I think that we could see continued upside for altcoins. We'll take a look at altcoin dominance in just a sec, because it's extremely interesting what's happening in altcoin dominance. But this isn't a coincidence that the weekly open is at a big even at $2 trillion US dollars. So we want to monitor that. If we stay above 2 trillion, there could be some very nice upside for altcoins and continued strength into the end of this week, into the weekend. But of course, if we break 2 trillion, we have the previous weekly open at $1.87 trillion, and then really the monthly open is the make it or break it for me at 1.82 trillion for the total cryptocurrency market cap. We want to stay above 1.8 trillion US dollars to assume further upside, because if we get to that monthly open, we're breaching major levels. And so let's continue to monitor this. But check this out: others dominance, seeing a little bit of a pullback. However, we are maintaining this ascending support level. And remember, what walks like a duck, what talks like a duck, what runs like a duck, 8 out of 10 times is a duck. And so the duck here is still extremely bullish for others dominance. Yes, we are below the weekly open. However, you can see we're above the previous weekly open, and we're maintaining this ascending support level. And then if we look at the monthly open, this isn't a coincidence that there's confluence with this major structural support level that was once a resistance level for 5 years for others dominance. So understand that the market doesn't do things on accident. There's a reason there's confluence with the monthly open in this major level. And so we want to watch that level for others dominance at 12.25% dominance. As long as we stay above 12.25% dominance, I think that the duck is extremely bullish for others dominance. And so let's continue to monitor that. I know a lot of people have been worried about Bitcoin dominance starting to come up a little bit, but realize that we're forming new lows every day here for Bitcoin dominance, as we've expected. Because we broke 57.2% dominance, I am still expecting some downside here. We're below the weekly open, the monthly open, the previous weekly open. We have this downside target of 50.85% dominance when it comes to Bitcoin dominance. But that doesn't mean Bitcoin's price is going to come down. It just means that we're going to see more altcoins run up. And so that's a very positive thing. And this is extremely important. Traditional markets, the DXY, breaching this major level of 91.92. I want to talk about the implications of this and how it's going to affect cryptocurrencies and traditional markets. If we look at what's happening here, you can see we do have this channel, and what we want to watch with this channel is going to be the midpoint of this channel, because you can see if we were to draw this out, we are currently breaching the halfway point of this channel, which makes us assume that we could see further downside for the DXY. We're already breaching this major level of 91.92, and you can see there's confluence with the bottom of this channel at 91.015, and so it looks like the DXY wants to come towards this 100-day moving average where there's confluence with the channel support, the 91.015 level, and the 100-day moving average. And if that is the case, that means that we're going to see continued upside most likely for cryptocurrencies. You can see the traditional markets, the S&P 500, new all-time highs today above the weekly open. That will also assume strength for the S&P 500, but this is extremely important. Look at the NASDAQ. Everyone was saying that because the NASDAQ saw a over 10% correction from the high here in January, that it was already topped out, it was overvalued, it was inflated. The tech sector, it saw way too much liquidity come in 2020. It topped out, but guess what? New all-time highs, exactly like we talked about yesterday. I said we have to monitor this chart. It's extremely important, and Bitcoin falls in line with the tech category. And so this is good for Bitcoin and good for the tech sector. And so realize that we're seeing this momentum to the upside. We want to monitor the NASDAQ, because now that we're seeing new all-time highs, that means we could see further upside. Of course, with the DXY showing weakness the way it is, that is expected. And so very interesting time here. And realize this, the last thing with the DXY is the 20-week moving average also is showing confluence here with the 91.015 level. So as long as we stay above the 20-week moving average, the DXY still could be in a bullish reversal, but this could be buying us a lot of time to see more upside in traditional markets and cryptocurrencies if we're able to just kind of consolidate here above the 20-week moving average before seeing continued upside. Because you can see we couldn't even test the 50-week moving average. That actually is a sign of weakness, and so this is a very key level. If we break this 20-week moving average, I'm going to go crazy. And so stay tuned, because that is going to assume that we're going to see insane upside in traditional markets and cryptocurrencies. And so this is a very important chart to watch. And then the last thing I want to wrap up with is the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart on the weekly. You can see we also have this 20-week moving average. Even if this breaks 35,000 Satoshis, if we're above that 33,600 Satoshi level for Ethereum to Bitcoin, I think that's extremely positive for the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. And for those that want to win one of my favorite books on value investing, Principles by Ray Dalio, if you want to enter into this giveaway, all you have to do is comment below and share this video, and you'll have a chance to win. And remember to smash the like button. I'm going to pick a winner from our video yesterday. I'll go and look at maybe one of the comments in the middle or one of the earlier comments. Let's see. Alex Lamb says BNB to the moon. You want a book? Send me a message on Instagram. The link is in the description below, and you will get that book out to you. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. What an amazing week. We already saw the breakout that we've been expecting here for Ethereum and Bitcoin, and I cannot wait to see what the rest of the week has. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, snipers out.